Hey there, everyone. Welcome in. I'm Paul. I'm along here with Alice. We are Paranormal 24/7. We are the founders. And we're also here with our content coordinators. We got Jenna Nelson and Ashley Reed. So,
Hi.
welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Okay. I got the beginnings of a cold going on, so
Yeah, it's going around right now. I know Ashley just got rid of it, and
Excellent.
Alice's daughter just, barely getting, recovering from it right now. So it's going around. Definitely, it's that time in that season.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd like to get started with our streaming podcast, our streaming service of Paranormal 24/7 that I'm partnered with Alice here. And Alice, why don't you take us into a little bit what we're doing?
So, well, let's talk about how we got started.
Yeah.
One of the things that we decided to do. So Paul contacted me, and we were going to do an event. Paracon ended up getting canceled, but what the funny part was is that we kind of hit it off, and then I was like, "Hey, like come on my podcast, let's do this, let's talk." And we just kind of talked, and then we just hit it off from there, and then kind of threw it out there like hey, let's do a documentary. And then it went from a documentary to let's shoot a TV show, from shooting a TV show to hey, let's start a paranormal streaming service. So it kind of progressed from there. So yeah, I mean, it was something that we decided that we wanted to do, and I think that we got the right people to come on board with us, to work with us. So we have a really great team. We you got a thumbs down.
Where did that come from?
What's that?
I don't know.
I think
Usually
that
it's like if you go like this.
I think
Like it
that's
usually
Ashley's
like
ghost.
pops up.
I think that's Ashley's ghost because we had
It might
experience.
be your ghost now,
No,
but
it's your ghost because we had experiences before where we got that creepy lady
you know what I
interfere
was
with us.
thinking though? My mother-in-law's ashes are in here. And so I was like, you might be saying my mother-in-law is the creepy ghost.
Oh shoot! Sorry, mother-in-law. Yeah. So yeah, that happened in that happened in a matter of what would you say, Alice? Like weeks? How we just
Weeks.
yeah, how we just did that. You came on out to do the documentary, and then all of a sudden, the next thing, like a week after or so, we were just talking about, hey, let's take it over and let's start our own streaming service,
Yeah,
with the very little that we started with, we did pretty much accomplish a lot, and to make it happen. And like you said, we picked the right team to do this. And as we have Ashley and Jenna as our content coordinators, which helps out so much after dealing with getting a streaming service, trying to get all these license, and people don't understand what it takes. They think it just happens just like that, but look what we went through, and look at the headaches and the stress, and finding the right streaming service, and what licenses we had to get to make this happen.
right.
And just dealing with that. I mean, it just shows people that are going to watch this. Like it's not that easy. And it takes
Mhm.
the financial situation. It takes the right team to do something like this, to especially to get it right, to make sure everything goes smoothly, make sure everything goes right, and and accordingly, and stuff like that, because it can just backfire and fail like quick. And then stuff that you have to go through um, with you know other paranormal investigators, other streaming service platform people that are out there, because it's all everybody's all in competition. But like, what was the first thing I think we said is like, we're going to change the paranormal industry. That is our goal, and that's our plan, and that's what we're going to do. And like you said, you want to build an empire, and that's what we're going to do. You know, and back to just not dealing with the streaming service and all that, and that part of getting we needed Jenna and Ashley to be part of Paranormal 24/7, and this great company that we're planning to establish to help out in the helping hand with paperwork, because we can't do it all. I mean, no matter how much we try, we're going to either bump heads, it's going to be stressful. There's going to be a lot of disagreements and things like that. So this way, when we have the right team, we can all communicate together, all work together, and build Paranormal 24/7, to where we plan on taking it to be.
Oh yeah. And speaking of taking it places, like we plan on taking this as far as we can get it, just so you guys know. Like we want to make it to where, the streaming and the shows and stuff is not mainly just about just content, but also about community and people and just showing like content creators that deserve to be seen. Because there's a lot of, which I can't really state what kind of platforms they are, but there's a lot of platforms out there that will restrict people from seeing their shows because it's mainly about views and ads and they want to make money off of it, so they will restrict it. So what we are doing is trying to offer people who, their content does deserve to get seen without all that stress. So we're just trying to help people, and we also just want to make it an enjoyable experience from any of our content creators that do decide to come with us. Some of them won't, some of them will say no, and then we'll get rejected, and we know that happens. And but also, for people who do want to be on there and stuff, that their shows are going to go, and we'll put them up there, and it's going to go far. So that's what we plan on doing, and we're trying to help people as much as possible to be seen.
Yes, definitely, because we want to take this as a business. Like I always say, is it's family and stuff like that. We want to make this a family-based business. The future for Paranormal 24/7, taking it to Paranormal 24/7 Productions. Having an office, having some Christmas parties. Especially for the future of our families, ourselves, and stuff like that. And that's where we plan on taking it. And with all of us working together, we want to build that empire. And, I'm going to say it again, we want to change the paranormal industry in so many ways. And that's our goal. And, we want, these young creators, these new upcoming investigators, to see, what it takes and all the hard work and all the behind the scenes and stuff they don't show you on TV, stuff they don't show you on podcasts, a lot of stuff that they edit out. So we're going to try to bring like real live raw footage to everything that we do and stuff like that, from like preparing going to the location, preparing everything, getting on the location, what it takes, with our historian, and setting up cameras, talking to the clients, to sitting there hours and hours and letting them know, hey, like it takes like hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, and nothing goes on, and just nothing happens. It's not just all, like boom, things happen at the spur of a moment, and you get something, you might or you might not, So that's where we plan on taking it. It's just show raw life footage, showing everybody what they don't show on other TV shows and stuff like that, all these other viewers watch. So yeah, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. I mean, if this is something for like all these viewers out there that are going to watch, this podcast once it's up, if this is something for you, you can submit your email to Ashley Reed at paranormal247@gmail.com. And I think we're going to set Jenna up. She'll split it up with Jenna and stuff like that. I know we've got to get her an email going here. And this way they can both work hand in hand, since they're pretty much close by to each other, and help each other out. And because I know it's gonna start flowing in, it already is, and stuff like that. It already is, it's like we still got a lot of work ahead of us, and like I said, we got a great team, and I know things are gonna happen, and I know things are gonna be great. It's just gonna take time, and yeah, pretty much, from there, and I'm looking forward to it, and working with everybody and working with all of you, and I know we all live, 8 hours difference away, 9 hours difference and stuff like that. And it's hard for us to get together and stuff like that. But this is no other great way than these Zoom calls and doing these podcasts and stuff like that to keep in touch with each other, keep updated, let viewers know, let them know what's going on, make short little video clips. This will be great for them so they can see, firsthand, meet us and stuff like that. Because we want to hold I think after a year, we want to do like in a convention and say, hey, we got all these streamers and stuff on our streaming service. And if you guys want to meet them, come out and meet them. We're going to hold like a convention. So yeah, we want to do big, old, great things with it, and take it to the top.
Paracon 24/7.
Paracon 24/7. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. I like it already. I like it already. Yeah, I like where she's at. Yep, Paracon 24/7. So yeah.
Yeah, we want to try to get like our. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Finish that.
I was gonna say that if we do when we do the Paracons, we just want to see if we can get like all our content creators to be able to come out. That way everybody can go like do a meet and greet with them and be able to talk to them about their shows, about their content, how they got started in the paranormal, things like that. Book signings, because we'll have books and things that are going to be on the streaming platform.
Yeah.
So a lot of different stuff. So it's not just be podcasts, but books and TV shows, and you're gonna have ghosts and aliens and cryptids galore. So
yeah,
basically anything spooky. Yeah.
Yeah, anything spooky. Everything from Bigfoot to UFO. We're gonna have authors on there, book, people that write books and ebooks and podcasts. So we're gonna have, murder mystery. You name it, pretty much all. We can do a lot of great stuff with this streaming platform.
True crime.
True crime. You name it.
Love
we can
it.
do pretty much anything. So we're looking forward to have all these creators sign up and bring us everything they got and what they want to do and get them on TV.
Horror films. Don't forget the horror films. We're looking for that too.
Yeah, horror films, everything. You name it. Yeah. So yeah, definitely it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. I'm super excited. So how about you, Jenna? Would you like to say anything?
I'm super excited too. I'm just super excited to see what it's all gonna be about and get to go investigate some cool places.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm really excited you guys asked me to be part of it.
Well, thank you, and we're happy that you're a part of Paranormal 24/7 family, and and the business. And I'm glad you brought that up with investigations. We got some good places that we're gonna go and investigate. That's for sure. And we're super excited to go to these locations and investigate, especially with our team and stuff like that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great adventure, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. And I'm super excited about these upcoming trips that we got coming up. So yeah, I can't wait to do these investigations. So yeah.
Which we can't tell the viewers, obviously, what the investigations are going to be about yet, because that's still kind of under wraps. But once we get our episodes and things out, then you'll know.
Yeah. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah.
So what about you, Ashley? What's your goals for everything? What do you plan on? What are you wanting to do? What's your ideas for everything?
For everything? Well, I think it was just a big surprise, like in just being part of the streaming platform. Because like you said before, it was just like we started out just like, you want to come and film at this place. And all of a sudden we're like, we're looking for a streaming service. We are the streaming service. I think it's actually really cool to see it all evolve. I am excited to go to the places that we have in mind, and I'm excited to see all of the people that we are bringing on to the streaming service. I think that this is a really good idea of bringing so many people who would like to be on a streaming service. I'm glad that I'm a part of that and getting them to that part. It's kind of like being the talent, like the talent agent,
There you go. Right.
picking everybody out and seeing, like, getting to watch their content is, I think, one of like the funnest parts of it. And I think for, just by seeing that and seeing what they have to bring, to the table, I think that's a pretty fun and fulfilling job. So,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
yeah.
'Cause, yeah, you got a big role. I mean, you and Jenna got a big role. I mean, firsthand, you get to see all these creators before we do. I mean, because we just, even though they reach out to us, we just send them your guys' way.
Mhm.
We don't have our plan is, for you guys to take care of, getting the forms out, interacting with these, streamers and stuff like that, and see what they have to bring to the table, like you said, and you get to experience and interact with them firsthand before we do. So
Mhm.
you get to see what they're going to bring, see what their background is, and you get to view their Instagrams and their videos, and so that's fun and stuff like that. Like you said, that you get to have that, you guys get to have that experience,
Yes.
and doing that. Yeah. So it's pretty fun. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, and you get to, you're having fun doing it, because that's the main thing, is having fun.
Mhm.
You gotta love what you do and stuff like
100%.
that. Yeah, definitely. So, which I think is gonna work out great. Like I said, we got a great team, and then with you and Jenna, it's gonna be great. You guys are gonna work well together, and it's gonna be fun. It really is gonna be fun.
Yep.
And then, I can't wait to, hopefully we can get this streaming service kicked off, hopefully by the end of November, and start throwing some stuff on there. We're just, waiting. Oh, did we lose Alice? And she has a creepy little photo on there.
I
I
was
know.
looking at
I
that
was looking
too.
at that going, what?
We're all
When you
looking
watch,
at it.
I know, and then you're just waiting for something to pop out. When you watch the
Of
video,
course
and it
it's
shows
a
that.
creepy doll.
So,
Yeah, it's a creepy. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I was waiting for.
as you get like
I was
super
like,
close to the screen.
I know we all do it at the same time, and then you just see us all like this.
Yeah, it's an awful creepy doll.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I hate
mean,
dolls.
I mean, she just switched up the advertisement from saying Sunset Paranormal, but it's okay. She's like, the people are gonna be like, I thought this was Paranormal 24/7.
Well, I was like trying to like pull my camera closer because like I have mine up on it lights up in the back. So I was like, well, I'll try to scoot my chair in.
But it's okay,
I
because I mean that's great too, because people see that it's not just, it shows people where other people came from. Like,
Yeah.
for Sunset Paranormal to Closer to the Veil, Jenna, I don't know if you had a previous team before, but I mean, if anything like that, but this just shows that where everybody came from.
Yeah.
Because I was part of CVPS Paranormal, now it's Paranormal 24/7, and it just shows, like, how everywhere we just branched off and just came into one. So that's great, even though if people see it like, hey, what's Closer to the Veil, and this way, you still can get, how do you say, exposure out there for Closer to the Veil or Sunset Paranormal or whatever and stuff like that, because you still carry that Instagram, that Facebook and stuff like that. You guys are your own still individual of Sunset Paranormal or Closer to the Veil, or where Jenna came from and stuff like that, from the app previous group.
no.
She's like, no.
No, I'm not gonna advertise them.
So I mean,
Sorry.
yeah,
I had to go. My kid started crying, so here we are.
you're back.
Hey, I've got like a creepy doll up there posing as your face.
Yeah.
Sunset
Creepy
Paranormal.
doll?
Sunset Paranormal creepy doll.
Oh, that was the original logo, and then I switched to the ghost logo, and then yeah, I just took it off Facebook because I was like, I'm done. Like, so I still have my YouTube up, but I just totally got rid of it because I was like so tired of the drama on the Facebook. So I was just like, I can't deal with the drama.
Yeah.
Wasn't worth it.
Well, we all know, being in this industry, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's sad to see things like that. But it is true. I mean, you see it all over Facebook, social media. no matter if you're in the paranormal industry, podcast industry, streaming service, TV industry, because there's so many different people trying to do the same thing or do it for different reasons. But it just comes in with the territory. People are going to hate. People are going to talk about you. People are going to talk about
Which
your
is
business name.
it's
Yeah,
really bad because
it
you know
is.
what? We talk about para-unity all of the time, and I
Yeah,
think if
Mhm.
we really did believe in that, then we would actually get a lot further than what we are. And
Right.
exactly. And we're all doing it for the same thing. When we all want, we're all investigating for the same thing, to find that evidence, to find what
Yep.
really is paranormal, what makes our devices go off, why are they still here and roaming the earth and existent? Why there's evil and good? Why there's why are people children, are things, anything left behind haunting these locations? You know, so we're all in it for the same reason. But everybody seems like they think they're better than the next person, or because they got better devices, or they got more streamers, or they got more
we're just
money, or
trying to make others look bad,
they're just trying to
like
make others look bad. And then
why spend the energy in doing that instead
right,
of like just focusing on what you can do, to help everybody around you. And I
right,
mean, that's like part of the reason why I like started doing the haunted rooms by
right,
tour guide, because I wanted to teach people. I want to help them.
right, exactly. Yeah, and we gotta, that's why when we're talking about changing the paranormal industry, and hopefully when people see this, you know it makes them think, and they say other. I know we're gonna get talked on, and you know, and everything else, but we're just gonna one ear and out the other with that. But hopefully, catches. We can get to enough people where they're like, oh man, they're right, stuff like that. We are all in this for the same reason. It shouldn't be all about competition, or this and that, or who has the best TV show, or who does better at what.
We're better helping each other.
Are better
We'll
help.
get
We're better helping each other, and both,
we'll
and
get
for
somewhere if
everybody.
we help each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can go, like you said it right there, and with that, we can go a long way,
Mhm.
especially with collabing with each other, and and I know a lot of people because they're famous, and and stuff like that, and they charge and all that stuff. They like that money right there that they're making. They should be using it to help the paranormal community, or doing something with with that and stuff like that, and but no. I know we all got to make a living. It's like with this, we're going to make a living off it, but we're going to give back. What we're going to do is, when we're going to give back to the community, we're going to help teams. We're going to help upcoming, hold conventions and hold, events and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and I think that's a.
the what?
What was that?
The what?
Did you hear that? That was
No.
really weird.
What happened?
It's probably Ashley's ghost again.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
like
I know
what?
it's probably your little ghost that was on your screen now.
Oh,
Which one? I've got like 500.
what?
All over the place.
My cat is evil eyeing me. Look at this.
You probably didn't feed him.
Oh wow. You're starving me.
She's straight evil eyeing me. I'm like, what is going
it's been 2
I'm
days now.
hungry.
You haven't fed that
I'm
cat.
gonna rip at your throat. I just watched Pet Cemetery, guys. Right before I got on here.
I'm kind of scared to sit over here.
I would be too. You better be on your guard. It's gonna come quiet.
Alice, you didn't
Right?
feed him for like 2 days.
Yes, I did.
You're neglecting.
I was on the phone with you earlier when I was feeding them.
We're gonna have to bleep that out because someone's gonna put that 1-800 animal control on it,
I know, right? She's abusing her cats. Peter.
right?
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, guys. Yeah, it's gonna be fun and great. Yeah, we have a lot to do, a lot of work ahead of us and stuff like that. But I know Alice mentioned one time, like one night, we're just gonna get bombarded with emails, and
I
we're
have
gonna
been
be
getting bombarded.
like, yeah.
I
Yeah.
have too. I think that I think we are all getting. There's his bubble again.
Well, how come my bubble isn't coming up?
I don't have
Does it
no
work?
clue.
Well,
We're all here. You know that one game where you're like
I'm
doing
just gonna
this,
go like this and just keep it like.
right?
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, no, I think all of us are getting emails and calls and texts and messages on Facebook, and it's been crazy.
Yeah, it
No,
is. And just by with the Instagram, you know, we're getting a lot of followers, and people are following us like crazy on there. I think we're almost up to almost close to 200 people following us on the Instagram, and that's where I think a lot of with these short little video clips and things like that that are getting made to be on there, it's reaching out to different, especially with all the hashtags and stuff like that.
right.
It's getting to them, and they're seeing it, and it just spreads and spreads and spreads, and then they see it, and then that's how we're gonna get our streamers and stuff like that. And then especially when they see it, it's already on there. So that's why I think Ashley's getting all these emails already, because they're just they're not even contacting, me or Alice or anything like that. They're just going straight to Ashley now, So that's where, that's Jenna's here to help her with that. If there's 10 of them, Jenna can get 5, Ashley can get 5, and then boom, 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 and just take care of it like that.
Yep.
I thought crazy.
And mine have too. I don't know if it's like allergies or what.
All of a sudden, like my eyes just started getting itchy.
He's crying.
He's so happy. He's so happy and excited that this is happening.
And then you got the thumbs up. It's like funny because it doesn't like come up right away. I'm gonna have to like sit there like this the rest of the time that we're on here in order for it to show up.
Yeah.
Looks like we're all hitchhiking.
Right. To the next investigation.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Right. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think that.
Go
ahead.
Oh,
no, go ahead.
So since we're on here, Cindy came up with a name. Well, she had a dream, and it came to her. She was having a demonic dream, and it came to her, and and she said, "Well, how about the show be called Paranormal Destination?"
I think that's great. I had an idea that I told Ashley, but I didn't put it in the chat. I was thinking about searching for spirits.
Searching for spirits. Okay, yeah, Ashley.
I have no idea.
Yeah, we can still throw them out. Like I have a board back here where I'm writing them all down.
I think Haunted Echoes was one of the ones that we thought of when we were like brainstorming too. But when you were saying something about Cindy, you said she's having a demonic dream.
She was.
And then she comes up with it. I'm over here like,
right?
like, okay, are the demons telling us what we need to do? Like,
they must be.
Yeah.
But those are no fun though. I remember. Well, I used to. Well, I think we're almost at our time limit here because we got like 29 minutes and 24 seconds left. Because I think you want to do half an hour, right?
That's up to you.
You're the one
that liked Haunted Echoes, by the way. That one was pretty cool.
Haunted Echoes. Yeah, believe it or not, like I haven't had a demonic dream. Like I don't know if I told you guys, I used to have them all. Like being an exorcist and all, and dealing with previous cases and stuff like that. And when I decided to take that break, and focus on doing this and stuff like that, and taking a step back, a lot of those dreams went away, and I don't have them no more. Thank God. No, so I'm like, because they were bad. They were really, really bad. I would literally have a demonic dream, a possession dream, almost every night.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah, every single
I
night.
know what you're talking about. Like you get those dreams of like casting demons out or having to like, or you'll see things like levitating in your house or like weird like dreams like that. Is that what you're talking about? Because I had those dreams too.
Well,
I know.
a lot of the dreams were like other people. Like, for example, I was walking down the street, and there was a mom and dad with their daughter, and I crossed the path of them, and the little girl looks back at me, and I look back at the daughter, and she's just giving me this evil look. And then next thing I know, I'm in their house, and it's a two-story house because she's on the loft, and I'm talking to the mom and dad, but I can feel her presence in the background, just looking over the loft of the railing, and I can remember every single demonic dream vividly. Like I can
Yeah.
tell you detail by detail every single one.
Yikes.
So then I'm like talking to the mom and dad, and I'm thinking, oh wait a minute, it's not the house, it's the girl. And I look
Mm.
up like this, and she jumps off the railing and comes down with this evil demonic growl and look, and I woke up.
You know those horror movies we're gonna put on there?
All right.
So, like,
One of the horror movies can be called like Paul Perez Evil Dreams. I don't
evil
False
dreams.
dreams.
Yeah.
know. Paul's
So yeah, I mean, there was just times like I mean, there was times where I was in doing a possession case in one of my dreams, and that the demonic presence was so strong. I
Mm.
needed help, and I kept calling, upon help, and upon, Archangel Michael, my friend, to come and help me. That also isn't, ordained exorcist, and for some reason it wouldn't let me call out to him. He couldn't come and help me. There was times where I was held back from helping people because I would see myself on like the jail bus, or I was locked up in prison, and that was like signs of like holding back and stuff like that, that I couldn't get to those persons when they needed me. Yeah, like a lot of stuff, like a lot of crazy, weird, demonic and possession dreams.
Anxiety dreams.
Yeah, and
Like
there was
Peter
time
Pan
once.
dreams.
There was a time like I was in this house, and I was in the kitchen, and there was two boys, a mom and a dad. They were in the two boys were in the living room. I was standing in the kitchen with their mom and dad, and just like they were wearing like there was crosses, rosaries everywhere in the house, and all of a sudden, every single rosary lifted up like this, and at the crucifix, they all snapped off and broke, and
Yikes.
they just dropped.
Wow.
And I'm like, did you see that? Did you see that? And then that was it. And then I woke up. Whatever that dream meant, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably like trying to scare you away from that.
Try to scare me away. But I mean, I can go on and on and on of like everything, but it's crazy. But I'm glad I don't have those dreams no more.
Yeah.
I'm glad you don't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still
like
get
to
dreams
sleep.
like that if we go on intense investigations. Like to the point where because you know how like I tap into the location when I go there.
Mm-hmm.
So like every single time I go to like an intense investigation, I start having dreams of like spirits or ghosts or like spirits will start coming to me and start talking to me and like showing me who they are and stuff like that. Which I showed you some of the ones that we found.
Yeah.
Which we can't really talk about it, but
One of the last investigations that I did, Acadia. I came home. I used to have sleep paralysis when I was a kid, and I had it the last time. I think I told you, Alice, right? I came home, and like 2 days later, I had sleep paralysis for the first time in like 20 years, and that was weird. I didn't see like a spirit or, anything in my room. And I was literally looking for it because now when like knowing about sleep paralysis and like what is in there, I was really looking for it, and I couldn't see anything, but I could see my TV was on. I could see everything, but I could not see a spirit or anything, like a shadow figure lurking in the corner. I couldn't see any of that. So I was just like, get away from me. And I like went back to sleep and woke up. But that was pretty intense. So that's kind of different if that's what's going to start happening to me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, only time will tell until we go on these cases, and stuff like that. What's going to happen and stuff like that. If those those dreams come back, or lucid dreams, or stuff like that come back and stuff like that. A lot of it took place when I was like working with clients and stuff like that, like a lot of house cases. So that's what I do mostly is house cases, and not like abandoned buildings or go to like how we're gonna go to out in May or other our upcoming investigations, things like that. I don't do. It was more personal home cases that triggered all these stuff and dealing with when I first did my first exorcism case. And and then it's crazy because doing an investigation can easily turn into a possession. And I'm not saying a demonic possession. It could be an energy possession, which I like to call a new possession. Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be demonic. It can be whatever is bad there or whatever's infested there take over your body and drain you that way. So, I mean, that's when I just started, experiencing those dreams right after that. And I don't know, a lot of you don't know, like when after I encountered that, dealing with that exorcism, and I came home and I went into the refrigerator, got something to drink. And then when I closed the refrigerator, I heard like in my ear, like I can hear somebody say, "So you're the one they call the exorcist." And that was the right time, right before I came ordained, right? And I started doing that. And they said, "So you're the one they call the exorcist?" And I replied back and I said, "Yes, I am, but in thought." And right when I said that, all my cupboards opened up in my house. So that, that was like, and then time after time and stuff like that. And, but I know not that I took a step back from dealing with personal cases and house cases, a lot of those dreams faded away because and taking a step back from doing that and focusing more on this stuff, it brought me to like knowing, okay, it makes them feel I'm not a threat to them, to these demonic entities or demonic things. They don't feel like I'm a threat. So that's why I feel like on a personal level, they leave me alone, because I'm not going to go after them or try to banish them or something like that, And it's been weird because I mean, there's been a couple cases, but a lot of cases that, I was told I couldn't go to because there's a person, you guys will all meet her and stuff like that, and stuff like that. She's going to be part, working on our show and stuff like that. And she's like my psychic advisor. I go to when things and stuff like that, and I listen to her because she's right. She's been spot on with a lot of things. She's been spot on. She's a really good medium, really good psychic person, really good tarot reader and stuff like that. So I go to her a lot when it comes to spiritual advice, and everything so far. She's been on point, with taking that step back from working with, house cases, working with you guys, getting this kicked off with Atlas and the team here and stuff like that, and, what to prepare for, protecting ourselves, what's going on, things that we should stay away from, who to stay away from and stuff like that, because we encountered some pretty crazy stuff when we, started kicking off this streaming service. And so pretty much that's it. But Jenna's been quiet, and I want to bring myself over to Jenna. So Jenna.
Oh, I'm just listening.
Spotlight.
Spotlight. Jenna,
I'm
You
all
get
wait,
you
wait,
get to
wait.
you get to
Spotlight.
close. Yeah, you get to close it out now, Johnny. You get to close it out. So
Uh,
give us a brief give us a introduction about you and what you do and everything.
okay, so I've been investigating since about 2010, so about 14 years. I started out in Las Vegas and worked with a few teams there, and then I've worked with another team since I moved to Arizona. I'm kind of the gadget girl. I like all my equipment and seeing how it works, and so that's my favorite thing. And I do have some abilities, they've been kind of blocked. So I'm kind of hoping now that I've gotten rid of some negative energy that it'll start opening back up when we investigate. I am having some things more. Like we did experience stuff when Ashley and I went to New Mexico that was cool that I hadn't really, that had been kind of blocked off before. So I'm excited to get out there and see how that develops too.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, I hope I did meet somebody out there when I was in New Mexico that was friends of another person, and she was in the same situation as you. When I went out there, I got had the pleasure of meeting her. She went out with a person that I was acquainted with out there, and to help her pick up those abilities, and stuff like that. She went to some couple of local cemeteries with us. She had a lot of guilt and stuff and doubt because she was dealing with some personal stuff, and she was looking for the same thing too. She to help her regain those abilities and open up again, and and I'm glad she did come out with us and stuff like that after we met, and to go to these places to help her understand and build back her confidence again, to get back out there to do the things that she loves to do. And it was a great pleasure meeting her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I hope it works out for you that way too. Well, all of us really, getting out there doing what we love to do, and bringing those gifts and abilities back to us, and especially yourself. You know,
Yeah.
working
It's
with
And
like
us.
the more you go, you more, get out and you're able to do the stuff, that we do.
Hmm.
I feel like the more I get out and do it, the more advanced that it gets. Like I used to only
Yes.
be
Yeah.
able to see
Yeah.
shadow figures, but this last haunted rooms event, they actually looked like people. It wasn't like I saw like an outline of a man coming up on one of the people that I was teaching how to use a K2 meter, and I was like, oh, there's somebody that just walked up behind you, and three of them turned and like had their K2 meters, and it lit all the way up,
Oh wow.
and they were like, whoa, that was so cool. But it's just like now it's like they're taking shape. It's not just like a shadow. It's like,
Right. Exactly.
yeah, but I think the more we do it, the more like advanced it's going to get. And but they said that's how Lorraine Warren was, by
Yeah.
Right.
she was the at the same spot, but then after like the 10,000 investigations they've done, she was a full clairvoyant.
Yep.
So,
And that's true because look where I mean, with I think it was The Conjuring, where she went down to the basement and then he whispered something into her ear, and she didn't even tell her husband Ed at the time what and even Ed said when I guess that person was in under possession or something like that, when they were working on him during an exorcism, he whispered something in her ear that she never mentioned. I mean, she went to the grave with that. I don't think she ever
yeah.
told anybody. And it relates to back to these movies. It's like, okay, is what I just got the chills so bad when speaking of it right now. And it's just like, okay, what that person told Lorraine, is it really happening right now? Is it really happening like when the movies that they're making, like with Annabelle, The Conjuring, The Nun, and things like that, that, like, did she tell somebody so these movies, so people can see that
Yeah.
this is happening, or like what? Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Or did she really go to the grave with that? Like didn't tell anybody. Like makes us wonder and think like what did he tell her?
Yeah.
What was it? What is there really out there in this world? Especially with in the Vatican and stuff like that, and these holy places and things like that. What's going on in these churches and things like that? That these kept secrets and things, because I'm pretty sure they know,
Oh yeah.
and so yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
just crazy. But like you said, going back to where us going to these investigations, it's going to open us a lot back up to our abilities and things like that. Because I was just mentioning, I think me and Alice were talking about it like 2 days ago already. Like, dang, we need to go on an investigation. It's been way too long,
I feel
And
like Las Cruces was so long ago.
Yeah.
Right. We were just talking about that. Like when Alice came down to the shop, it just seems like forever. And then when you and Jenna went to New Mexico, I bet it seems like it's forever. It's been forever now.
ago.
It
Yeah.
does.
Like-
Yeah.
They went to New Mexico the same day that I came to the shop.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's like it just seems like forever. It just seems like forever. And then we were just talking about like, man, I just want to go out and do an investigation. I just want to get out
I
there
know.
and do something because
It's
we come
coming up
home.
though, and we have some really
coming
good
up.
locations.
Yeah. And
Great
I think that's what we're
locations.
waiting for. Yeah, and that's what I think we're just waiting for. Even though how bad we just really want to get out there and stuff like that. In time, we'll be out there and we'll put these investigations, to use and work and make the best of it, and it's gonna be great. I know, even though we want to get out there and like go investigate, even if it's our backyard or something,
Seriously.
I've got haunted objects you guys can come and play with.
I'm like,
I
I'm
was
going
trying
to
when I came
cemetery.
out there before. I was trying to practice my psychometry with them.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about. We should totally do it. Yeah. Well, you're
Yeah.
so quiet though. Too. You know what's so weird though? When I first met you and you walked in, I kept like looking at her. She probably thought I was a weirdo because I kept looking at her. I was like, I know you. Like, there was something about your spirit that I was just like, I'm going to work with her. Like, I know her. I don't know if it was like a past
so
life
weird.
thing. I know. I don't know if it was like a past. I was telling Ashley this like before. I was like, I just know that we're gonna work with Jenna. Like, I know that. That's like I just felt like I knew you from like a past life. Like I've known you forever. It was just like the weirdest thing when I first met you. I was just like, I didn't think about it. I didn't say anything.
Quiet until I get to know people, and then you'll probably wish that I would go back to being quiet.
No. Not in this group. We're all like that. We're all crazy.
I'm usually quiet at first.
I think
What?
Paul and like Jose are probably going to be hating life when we get into the van. And
Us girls, man, we're gonna be chit-chatting and acting crazy.
Where they, I'm gonna be like this. I'll make sure when that day comes. Hold on 1 second.
his noise canceling headphones.
I'm gonna be
And I'm purposely going to go.
You probably
Paul,
need them.
Hey, Paul. Paul. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul.
Like he was gonna tell him he was supposed to turn right like
Yeah.
5 miles
Yeah.
back.
I'm going to take his headphones and be like, you're supposed to turn back there.
Are we there yet?
No, but going back really quick about opening yourself up and going to these locations. Like I've noticed that when like Jenna, like when you go into these locations, just don't be afraid to like express what you're feeling or what you're seeing, what your intuition is telling you. I think a lot of the problem is that when people like keep you quiet and you don't like express yourself because you're afraid of like maybe you say the wrong thing or you might be wrong or whatever, that's when it becomes to where your abilities cannot expand.
Wow.
Yeah,
And I think
never
too,
be afraid.
I think too, because Ashley and I were talking about it and discussing how just your state of mind when you're investigating, because the team that I was with previously, the one girl, she always just wanted to take over everything. And I just spent the whole investigation being mad at her and irritated because I couldn't get anything in to do myself. And I would get so mad and I was so frustrated that I think that completely blocked it off. I really think Ashley has a good point on that. So that's what I
Yeah.
was saying. Now that I have a new team to work with and I've gotten rid of that negative people, maybe that's going to let things flow a little bit better too.
Right.
And
And then
my
what
friend
we're
that's a
trying to
psychic,
do.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
I was going to say, my friend that's a psychic, she told me that I have these abilities and stuff. And she said, you don't trust yourself, you always second guess. You'll write it off as something else. And so that you're right. I do need to trust what I'm feeling and sensing more.
And like just the fact that like us going down to New Mexico and you feeling like you're like, oh my gosh, I had this experience and I'm like, well, look where you're at, like I'm your friend. I'm here to be your friend and we're here to have fun and we're, and but do the things that we love to do. And like I felt like you just completely opened up. And I remember like the first investigation that I did with you, you were like really quiet. And I'd ask you and I'd be like, hey, do you want to get this out? See if this works. And you're like, oh, yeah, to like going to New Mexico and me turning the camera on to talk about it. And when you talked about it, I was like, look at it. Like, I was just so happy that you were like talking and wanting to be a part of it. And it was so good to see that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's nice when somebody will let you be yourself and participate fully, So, yeah, I really appreciated that too.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely. I
and
mean,
that's the
especially being part of a team, the right team, and letting you to be open, freely to do what you love to do and stuff like that, and not, a negative team or people around you, because that aura, will, cut you off and block you from doing what you love to do. It just makes you feel like, okay, it's not there and stuff like that. Put you down, but hopefully, not hopefully, but with this group that you're part of now, use that, use your abilities, go out there, do what you love to do, and you have all our 100% and beyond, what is it, support and everything.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that, and also we want to make sure that like on the show, like when we do our shows and stuff, everybody gets the same amount of screen time. It's not going to just be, people here and there. Like we'll be sending teams in. And so the team itself will be getting the screen time. So like, say if it's me and Paul and you and Ashley will be on one floor and we'll be on the other floor or like whatever, you know what I'm saying? But everybody's going to get that screen time. Everybody's going to be able to express themselves and get that chance to shine. I feel like there's too many people wanting to be in the spotlight and not enough people supporting each other and pushing each other into doing better and to support each other. I think it just drives me nuts when I see all of that nonsense where it's just like, okay, we got to put our egos aside. This isn't about us. This is about the team. This is about what we're doing and what we're trying to find here.
Yeah, and our viewers,
and really investigating,
investigating. We want
that's what we love.
Exactly. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna switch up the teams. And see what we can get from different locations, different floors, different rooms. Like she said, me and Alice will be in one room, Jenna and Ashley will be in another room. Or then me and Ashley, we'll switch it up, me and Ashley, and then Jenna and Alice. Vice versa. Because we're gonna be there for hours. We're gonna have a long night. So that's when the fun and the little humor and our coffee, our best friend, energy drinks, are gonna all come into play. So yeah,
I'm gonna try to play spin the bottle with the ghosts.
What?
And that, what, you're gonna do that. That's gonna be one of the new tools.
There you go. see if they can make it move.
Yeah, there you go. Spin the bottle.
I'm like, look, I will make out with a ghost. I am not afraid to try everything or anything one time. Okay.
There you go.
Oh my God. All right, guys. So we're almost up to our hour, and so if anybody we'll start with Alice. Any last closing statements?
Yeah, you could be able to watch the podcast. Obviously, if you have the streaming platform, you you can be able to watch us on here. We'll also be adding clips and things of our show once we get them aired. So that way you can kind of see, like little like previews of the show or whatever. But we'll also just, be introducing other people to the show as well as podcasts. We'll have other teams on here. That's going to be working with, with the paranormal streaming service. So, it's going to be fun. We're going to all have fun and just enjoy our ride and, to do what we love.
That's right. Ashley?
Just stay tuned and see how things go.
Right. Jenna?
I'm really excited to have everybody watch and see what we get and what everybody else that we have on the streaming platform. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see how this goes, and I hope you guys are too.
Awesome. Thank you. How about you, Jenna?
Pretty much the same thing. I'm really excited for everyone to see what we're doing, and I'm excited to see what other people are doing because I feel like we can always learn new techniques from other investigators because we all do stuff differently. So I'm just looking forward to all of it.
Definitely. Thank you, guys. And thank you, everybody, for being on here. I just want to let you guys know you guys are doing an amazing job with everything that you're doing. So when this goes on, there it is, guys. These are half of our members of Paranormal 24/7, and hopefully we can get the next ones on, and make it bigger. And stream with us. Send your emails in, your content in to Ashley Reed at paranormal247@gmail.com. We would love to have you on board, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
And Jenna Nelson. Jenna Nelson.
Jenna Nelson.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to her too. We'll get her. We'll get her email. It's gonna be the same thing. Jenna Nelson at paranormal247@gmail.
At gmail.com. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next podcast. And everybody have a good night.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.